Welcome to Authors Speak, an initiative by Books Etc., the literary gift store. My name is Akshay Manmani. I'm a writer and author. I'm based in Bombay, or Mumbai as it is now known. I've authored a couple of books in the field of Hindi cinema. My first book was a book called Sahil Ludhianvi, The People's Poet, which was published by HarperCollins way back in 2013. My second book was also published by HarperCollins. It's a book which I'm here to talk about today. It's called Music Masti Modernity, the cinema of Nasir Hussain. Nasir Hussain was a first generation filmmaker of the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s. His career in Hindi cinema spans nearly 5 decades. Most people remember him as, the actor Aamir Khan's uncle. So I'm here to talk about this book where I have profiled his films and his legacy in Hindi cinema. But before I get into the book, one of the questions that was asked of me was, what am I doing during the lockdown, or how am I spending my time during the lockdown? Well, I was working on my next book, which hopefully I don't know when it's going to come out, but it's in a very different space from these two books that I have authored on Hindi cinema. It's a work of fiction. I won't say much more than that because there's still a fair distance to go before that book sees the light of day. But one's also kind of grappling with the thoughts of how life is going to be once this coronavirus thing gets over. When will it get over? Etc. So and you're also having to see these images of the disadvantaged, the poorer sections of society, how they are managing. One is trying their best to kind of help these people in whatever limited ways we can, but it's still your heart goes out to them, the kind of visuals that we are constantly seeing on a daily basis. But largely I've been writing during this lockdown. To come back to my book, Music Masti Modernity, the cinema of Nasir Hussain. Nasir Hussain, in a sense, was an integral part of my childhood years. I used to watch Hum Kisi Se Kam Nahi and Yadon Ki Baarat on loop. When cable television came to India, I think they used to show either one of these films every week. So I kind of grew up watching these films, and then later when I was probably 12, 13, my mother took me to see Jo Jeeta Wahi Sikandar with my brother, which is like one of those defining moments from my childhood which I remember. And even today when they show that cycle race at the end of the film, I'm like rooting for Sanjay Lal Sharma, and it's such a kind of one of my favorite films of all time. And then as I read more about the film as I grew older, and I saw that Nasir Hussain was the common link to these films, Yadon Ki Baarat, Hum Kisi Se Kam Nahi and Jo Jeeta Wahi Sikandar, I think I wanted to kind of, this was my homage to the man who gave me so many enjoyable moments through his so many very films. And we forget he was a very successful filmmaker of his times, the producer and director of films like Jab Pyar Kisi Se Hota Hai, Teesri Manzil he wrote and produced. Of course it was directed by Vijay Anand, Karwan. One of the giants of Hindi cinema, and a man who's given so much to the modern Hindi film as we know it, that I just thought it was important to kind of jot down his legacy. I wrote this book it was very different. The experience was very different in terms of my first book, which was Sahil Ludhianvi, The People's Poet. That was more kind of start-stop kind of book. So that took me a much longer time. This book has been kind of a continuous, like non-stop, without paying, without looking anywhere else. So in a sense, I did this book over a 2.5 year period where I used to find it embarrassing calling myself a writer in that period, because I didn't write, I hardly wrote. I think I must have totally penned together 3 or 5 articles in that, especially in the first 2 years that I was researching and writing the book. So it took me that kind of time. One of the more, any time you're doing a book on a Hindi film personality, like my first book which was on Sahir. Of course Sahir was not alive, neither was Nasir Hussain alive when I did this book. But anytime you're dealing with people from the film world, there are enough of interesting anecdotes and all. But for me personally, I think the Nasir Hussain family, his daughter, his son, Amir, his nephew, they were just so warm and welcoming and so gracious with their time. For me, that was the most memorable experience. Any time that I reached out to them, they were always available. Mansoor, I enjoyed his hospitality. He now lives in Kunur. He doesn't live in Bombay. I went and spent 3 or 4 days way back in, I think, 2014 with him, and he was very, very gracious, generous, hospitable to me. Amir, I think each of my sessions with him were anywhere between 90 minutes to 2 hours. So it was, kind of very, very charming, spending that time with these people. I'm going to read a little section over here from my book on, what is Nasir Hussain's, biggest moment, I would say, is his contribution to the decade of the 70s and how he held his own against, the Amitabh Bachchan phase of Hindi cinema, when Mr. Bachchan is playing this angry young man avatar that was given to him by Salil Javed. So I'm going to read a little passage from there, and this is also encapsulates how much of an important presence R.D. Burman was in the Nasir Hussain film space for Nasir Hussain. So here goes. It is also worth noting that at Amitabh Bachchan's peak, most filmmakers who debuted around the time that Hussain made Tumsa Nahi Dekha, be it Vijay Anand or Rishikesh Mukherjee or Shakti Samant or Yash Chopra or Manmohan Desai, turned to Bachchan. These men either gave Bachchan some of his best films or went to Bachchan to rescue their sagging careers. Hussain was the only one who made it huge without Bachchan. With Karavan, Yadon Ki Barat and Hum Kisi Se Kam Nahi, Hussain more than stood his ground in the 1970s, Bachchan's decade, with 3 immensely successful commercial films. With R.D. by his side, Hussain defied the Bachchan wave. Karan Johar agreed. Nasir Hussain didn't need Mr. Bachchan. He had a separate story happening. He was a hatke dukaan, as they say. His music was just on another level. It is not surprising then that with R.D.'s decline in the mid-1980s, Hussain too went through his worst phase with films like Manzil Manzil and Zabardast. Their enviable jodi that endured over 20 years and resulted in many fine films came to an end after Zabardast, with Hussain's son Mansoor Khan selecting Anand Milin to helm the score for Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak. The memories of men are too frail a thread to hang history from, wrote the English author John Still. But the apocryphal tales of octogenarian men make for enchanting kaleidoscopes to look back at great artistic collaborations. Bhanu Gupta mentioned an episode about a Pakistani producer who once came to meet Hussain and exhorted him to make a film specifically for the Pakistan audience. Apparently, Hussain's musical comedies had a great audience and fan base across the border. Hussain heard the man out patiently, but ultimately said no. His logic was clear. Even if everything else fell in place, said Hussain, मगर मुझे R.D. Burman मिलेगा कहाँ वहाँ? Where will I get an R.D. Burman in Pakistan? So this kind of summarizes the importance of R.D. Hussain in the Nasir Hussain film space, while also showing how Nasir Hussain was able to hold his own against that that angry young man wave that was what the cinema of 1970s is remembered for, and that was one of my essential discoveries while I was writing this book. As far as what am I reading right now, I'm reading Michelle Obama's autobiography. It's remarkably captivating. I'm sorry, I'm so captivated by it that I don't even remember the name of the book as of now. But that I'm 1/3 through with the book, and it's really inspiring to read her own story. And at this point, she's talking about how Barack Obama entered her life. So that's been a good read at this point in time. My favorite authors and books, I don't have a favorite author. I read too much to actually have a favorite author. I've read, I read fiction, I read non-fiction. I read a lot of sports related articles, which is another part of what I do in my professional life. I'm a commentator for the National Basketball Association, so I keep myself updated with reading a lot of good literature that emanates from there. So I don't have one specific favorite author, but the last book that I read before the Michelle Obama autobiography was this book called The Carpet Weaver. Again, I forget the name of the author, but there is no one genre that I restrict myself to. Anyways, I hope all of you all stay safe and take care of your near and dear ones during the lockdown. Thank you so much for your time.